We often grow up with the idea that if we work hard and do the right things, success will come to us. We are led to believe that if we follow the rules, the world will somehow reward us for our efforts. But here's the hard truth. The world doesn't owe you anything. No one is waiting for you to succeed. No one is looking out for you to fulfill your dreams. The reality is that the world is indifferent to your ambition. It's not going to hand you success just because you've put in the time or because you've been working hard. Success is not something that is given to you simply because you showed up or because you did the right thing. It's something you earn through consistent action, through persistence, through delivering value. The world has no obligation to care about your potential or to reward you simply for existing. You might put in all the work, you might sacrifice, and yet the world might still not respond with open arms. Why? Because the world is focused on results, not intentions. It's not concerned with how much effort you've put in or how long you've been trying. What matters is what you've accomplished, how you've shown up, and the impact you've made. In the grand scheme of things, your dreams are yours alone. No one else is invested in them the way you are. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that if you just wait long enough or keep trying hard enough, someone will eventually notice. But the truth is, people notice results, not the endless effort. You don't get rewarded for showing up, at least not in the way you might hope. If you want the world to take notice, you need to show what you've done. You need to demonstrate that your efforts lead to something meaningful, something real. The world doesn't care that you want to achieve something. It cares that you've achieved something. It cares that you've found a way to solve a problem, to create something of value, to contribute in a way that makes an impact. You can't rely on others to recognize your hard work or reward you for your aspiration. If you want something, you must take the initiative. You must work for it, earn it, and show the world the value you bring to the table. When you understand that the world doesn't owe you anything, you free yourself from the illusion that things should just fall into place. Instead, you can focus on the one thing you can control, your actions. Rather than waiting for someone to hand you an opportunity or waiting for the perfect conditions, you learn to create your own opportunity. The world won't do the work for you, but it will respond to the work you put in. This idea also frees you from the frustration of expecting instant recognition or success. The world doesn't owe you applause. It doesn't owe you an award or validation for your efforts. If you're expecting to be recognized without delivering results, you'll be disappointed. But if you understand that recognition comes through action and not entitlement, you can focus on building the kind of success that will eventually demand attention. You can stop waiting for the world to notice you and start making the world notice you through your actions. When you accept that the world doesn't owe you anything, you start to shift from a passive mindset to an active one. You stop thinking that things should just happen and realize that you're the one who has to make them happen. It puts the onus on you to take responsibility for your path, your growth, and your results. No one else can walk this journey for you. The world will move on regardless of whether you decide to show up or not. You're the one who must show up every day, putting in the work and pushing through the setbacks and obstacles. When you fully internalize this concept, that the world owes you nothing, it shifts the way you approach challenges. It shifts the way you approach your dreams. Rather than expecting things to be handed to you or waiting for validation, you understand that success is something you earn, and it's a mindset that empowers you to take control of your future. You'll no longer be stuck waiting for the right circumstances. You will create your own circumstances through persistence, focus, and effort. In a world that glorifies perfection, it's easy to get caught up in the idea that everything you do has to be flawless, that every step has to be the best possible version. We often mistake the pursuit of perfection for the pursuit of success. But here's a crucial point. Perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist. It's an unattainable standard that, when chased, can become paralyzing. And yet, so many people spend years, decades even, chasing after this mirage of perfection, only to find that they're no closer to their goals. Perfection doesn't create progress. In fact, it can prevent it. When you aim for perfection, you're focused on an ideal that doesn't allow room for mistakes, growth, or learning. If you're always trying to get everything just right, you'll end up stuck in a cycle of endless revisions, doubt, and hesitation. You'll keep waiting for the right time or for the perfect conditions to show up, and while you're waiting, everyone else around you is moving forward. The harsh reality is that while you're trying to perfect the small details, life keeps moving. And that's why focusing on perfection can be a dangerous trap. It causes you to miss out on opportunities to make progress in the first place. Progress, on the other hand, is real. It's tangible. It's the result of small, consistent efforts made over time. Progress doesn't demand perfection. It only asks for effort, persistence, and the willingness to continue moving forward even when things aren't perfect. The key is to understand that growth comes through action, not through waiting for everything to be ideal. It's about improving just a little bit every day, focusing on where you were yesterday versus where you are today. And over time, those little improvements add up. The journey of progress is filled with mistakes, failures, and imperfections. But those are the very things that shape us. Those moments of imperfection are where the lessons are learned, where the real growth happens. The obsession with perfection can stop you from even starting. If you demand that every step be perfect from the outset, it's easy to fall into analysis paralysis. You'll spend all your time analyzing, planning, and refining, but never actually doing. You'll avoid taking action because you're afraid of making a mistake or looking less than perfect. But action, even imperfect action, is the only way forward. It's better to start with something imperfect and refine it along the way than to wait until you're perfectly ready, which may never happen. In truth, the path to success is filled with missteps, miscalculations, and moments when things don't go according to plan. If you're focused on perfection, you might miss the value in those moments. But when your focus is on progress, those missteps become learning opportunities, stepping stones to something better. Perfection doesn't leave room for mistakes, but progress does. And it's through those mistakes that you learn what works and what doesn't, what needs to be adjusted and what needs to be let go of. This mindset shift is essential for anyone who is serious about achieving long-term success. Perfection can be a dangerous standard because it creates an environment of constant dissatisfaction. There's always something more you could tweak, something that could be improved. And that leaves you feeling like you're never really there, like you're always chasing something just out of reach. But when you focus on progress, you can celebrate the milestones. You can acknowledge how far you've come and look back on how much you've accomplished, even if it isn't perfect. Moreover, focusing on progress enables you to embrace the process rather than just the outcome. We live in a culture that celebrates results, but real success is about the journey, the continuous effort you put into becoming better than you were yesterday. If you're obsessed with perfection, the only time you're satisfied is when you reach the end, but the end is always moving. Success becomes something elusive, but when you focus on progress, the end becomes just another marker along the way, not the ultimate goal. The beauty of progress is that it's not about the final product, but about the evolution of who you are and what you can do. When you get caught up in perfection, you forget that your potential is unlocked through trying, failing, adjusting, and trying again. Progress is about resilience. It's about bouncing back after mistakes and continuing forward, no matter how small the steps may seem. Every step forward, no matter how imperfect, is a step toward becoming better, stronger, and more capable. And that's something perfection can never offer. By shifting your focus to progress, you free yourself from the unrealistic pressure of perfection. You stop measuring your worth by how flawless your work is, and instead begin measuring it by how far you've come and how much you've grown. Every day is a new chance to improve. And when you focus on improvement instead of flawlessness, you give yourself the grace to experiment, to learn, and to grow. Perfection has no room for this freedom. Progress does. In a world filled with shortcuts, hacks, and the constant search for the easiest way to succeed, it's easy to forget one fundamental truth. Hard work is not optional. It's not something you can decide to skip or choose to do only when it's convenient. Hard work is the foundation of everything you will achieve. It is the one constant that you can rely on, the one thing that will never fail you if you stay committed to it. In fact, hard work is the differentiator between those who succeed and those who fall short. Talent alone isn't enough. Intelligence isn't enough. And desire isn't enough. We often hear stories about people who seem to have made it effortlessly, but those stories only show the end result. What they don't show is the countless hours of work behind the scenes, the sacrifices, the frustrations, and the failures that led to that success. Hard work isn't glamorous. It's not about having an inspirational Instagram post or a shiny, polished image. It's the quiet, consistent effort put in when no one is watching. It's about pushing yourself when you'd rather give up, showing up when you don't feel like it, and continuing on a path that feels uncertain or difficult. Hard work means putting in the hours, even when the results aren't immediate. It's about knowing that success doesn't happen overnight, and that the road is long, challenging, and often lonely. If you think success will come without putting in the effort, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. There are no shortcuts, no magic formulas, no substitute for the effort you put into something. It's easy to look at someone who has achieved something great and assume they were just lucky or had some unique advantage. But the truth is, they probably worked harder than you think, sometimes without any guarantee of success. They were willing to sacrifice more, endure more, and push themselves further than others were. This isn't to say that hard work guarantees success, because it doesn't. But it does guarantee something far more important: progress. Even in the face of failure or setbacks, hard work moves you forward. It builds the resilience necessary to bounce back. It's the relentless pursuit of improvement that pays off in the long run. Hard work teaches you lessons that cannot be learned any other way. It teaches you discipline, perseverance, and patience. These lessons are invaluable because, in the end, they shape who you are and what you're capable of achieving. When you commit to hard work, you make a decision to give it your all. You stop waiting for the perfect moment or the ideal circumstances. You stop making excuses for why things aren't happening right now. Hard work means taking responsibility for your own success. It means doing the things that others won't, even when it's hard. It means showing up when it's easier to stay home, working late when it's tempting to call it a day, and pushing through when your body and mind are screaming for a break. And it's important to note that hard work isn't just about physical labor or sheer output. It's about mental toughness. It's about focusing your energy and time on the right things. It's about putting in the hours, not just because they're required, but because you've made a decision to improve, to grow, and to become better. Hard work is about having the fortitude to continue even when things aren't going well. It's about knowing that the only way to see results is to keep going, no matter how tough it gets. Moreover, hard work isn't just about intensity. It's also about consistency. It's not just about working hard for a few days or a few weeks, but about showing up day in and day out. This is where most people falter. They start off strong, but when the novelty wears off, when the excitement fades, when the results aren't immediate, they quit. The true test of hard work is in the consistency, in the willingness to continue putting in the effort when it seems like nothing is changing. Progress happens in increments, and the most successful people are those who can keep working even when it feels like they're not seeing immediate returns. Success is built on the daily grind, the little things done consistently, day after day, year after year. The idea that you can achieve success without hard work is a myth. If you want to achieve anything of value, you need to be prepared to put in the hours. And it's not just about the number of hours you work, but how effectively you use that time. Hard work means being fully invested in what you're doing, focusing your energy and attention, and pushing yourself to go beyond what feels comfortable. It means doing the work that others aren't willing to do, going the extra mile when everyone else has stopped. Success is often about doing the extra things that separate the good from the great. When you view hard work as a non-negotiable, you embrace the understanding that effort is the key to everything. It becomes part of your mindset, your identity. You stop seeing it as something you have to do and start seeing it as something you get to do. The work becomes the reward, and the effort becomes the process. This shift in perspective makes the grind enjoyable because you know that every moment spent working is a moment spent getting closer to your goals, regardless of the obstacles in your way. Hard work is the secret ingredient behind every success story. It's not always glamorous, but it is always essential. There will be times when you feel discouraged, when you feel like the work isn't paying off, or when you wonder if all the effort is worth it. But if you stay committed, if you keep working, the results will eventually come. Because hard work is the one thing that no one can take away from you. It's yours, and it's the only thing that guarantees you'll be better tomorrow than you are today. There is a fundamental truth that many people fail to recognize. No one else is responsible for your life. You are the one who shapes your path, defines your purpose, and controls your destiny. Too often we look for validation from others or expect the world to hand us success. We rely on external factors, circumstances, or other people's decisions to determine our outcomes. But in the end, the only person who can truly own your journey is you. Taking full ownership of your life means understanding that no one else can live it for you, and it's up to you to make the decisions, take the actions, and handle the consequences. When you own your journey, you stop blaming others for your circumstances. You stop waiting for someone to give you permission to succeed or for the perfect opportunity to magically appear. Life doesn't work like that. Success is not given, it's earned. And the only way to earn it is to take full responsibility for your actions, your choices, and how you respond to the world around you. The truth is, the world doesn't owe you anything, and no one is going to hand you your dreams on a silver platter. But you have the power to take control of your path and to push forward with relentless focus and determination. Owning your journey means acknowledging that you have a role in every aspect of your life. Whether it's your career, your relationships, your health, or your personal growth, you are the one who has the power to steer your life in the direction you want it to go. It's easy to blame external factors, the economy, bad luck, other people, but when you own your journey, you accept that you have the agency to create change. You take responsibility for where you are, and more importantly, for where you're headed. This might mean taking uncomfortable actions, stepping outside of your comfort zone, or making tough decisions, but it's those decisions that define who you become. Owning your journey requires a deep understanding of what it means to be truly accountable for your life. It's about being willing to face your own shortcomings, to confront your fears, and to push through challenges. It means saying, "I'm in control," instead of "I can't." It's about accepting that the obstacles in your path are not roadblocks, but opportunities to learn, grow, and refine your skills. When you take ownership of your journey, you stop seeing difficulties as things that hold you back, and you start seeing them as stepping stones on the path to growth. Part of owning your journey is understanding that success does not come easily, and it's rarely a straight line. There will be setbacks, failures, and moments when you doubt yourself. There will be times when it feels like your efforts aren't paying off. But when you own your journey, you commit to staying the course. You understand that success is not about avoiding failure, but about persevering through it. Every setback is an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to keep moving forward. The people who truly own their journey are the ones who keep going even when the going gets tough. They understand that the road is long, the work is hard, and the rewards don't come without significant effort. Owning your journey also means not waiting for others to validate your decisions. We live in a society that often values approval, praise, and recognition from others, but when you take full ownership of your journey, you stop seeking external validation. You learn to trust your instincts, to make decisions based on what feels right for you, not based on what others think is best for you. It's about embracing the confidence to take risks, to make mistakes, and to keep learning along the way. Your journey is yours to define, and while advice and guidance from others can be helpful, the final decisions are yours to make. Another critical aspect of owning your journey is embracing your uniqueness. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others, especially in a world dominated by social media and public successes. But when you own your journey, you stop measuring your progress against anyone else's. You understand that everyone's path is different and that your success is not dependent on someone else's timeline. The pressure to conform to other people's expectations can be overwhelming, but owning your journey means stepping into your own power and forging a path that is true to who you are, not who others want you to be. To truly own your journey, you must also be willing to embrace the responsibility that comes with it. It's easy to want the rewards and accolades, but those don't come without hard work and sacrifice. When you take full ownership of your life, you recognize that you are the one who is accountable for every decision, every outcome, and every step you take. You are the one who has to show up, put in the effort, and continue moving forward even when it feels hard or uncomfortable. No one else can do that for you. You have to be the one who drives your own success. Owning your journey doesn't mean you have to do it all alone. In fact, the most successful people are often those who surround themselves with others who share their values, their vision, and their commitment to growth. But ultimately, it is your responsibility to take action, to make the choices that align with your vision, and to push forward toward your goals. No one else can walk your path for you. To own your journey is to accept the power of choice. Every day, you get to choose who you are, how you show up, and what kind of impact you will have on the world. Your journey is a series of choices that shape your future. Each decision you make, no matter how small, adds up over time. Whether you choose to push through challenges, whether you choose to stay committed to your vision, or whether you choose to learn from your mistakes, each choice is yours to make. And each choice you make moves you closer to becoming the person you're meant to be. Motivation is fleeting. It comes in bursts, often when the excitement of a new project or goal is at its peak. It's the spark that gets you started, the initial rush of enthusiasm that fuels your ambition. But motivation is not something you can rely on. It's unpredictable, and it can easily fade. On the other hand, discipline is the foundation upon which success is built. Discipline is what keeps you going long after motivation has left. It's what allows you to maintain consistency even when the excitement has waned and the initial rush has faded into routine. When you rely on motivation, you are at the mercy of your emotions and circumstances. But when you cultivate discipline, you create a system that works regardless of how you feel on any given day. Motivation is often overvalued in our society. We see motivational speeches, hear stories of incredible achievements, and read about success stories that seem to hinge on bursts of inspiration. But the truth is, motivation alone won't get you very far. It can't carry you through the tough times, the slow periods, or the moments when the results aren't coming as quickly as you'd hoped. Motivation is like a fire. It burns hot and bright at first, but can easily be snuffed out by a gust of wind or a change in the weather. Discipline, however, is like the steady hand that keeps the fire going, even when the wind blows. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. It's the act of pushing through the resistance and showing up day after day to do the work. Discipline is not glamorous. It's the quiet, consistent effort that is often invisible to others, but is the backbone of any significant achievement. When you rely on discipline, you're not waiting for the perfect moment to feel motivated. You're simply doing the work, taking the actions that align with your goals, regardless of how inspired you feel in the moment. Motivation might be what gets you to start a task, but discipline is what gets you to finish it. Think about the many goals people set at the beginning of the year. Resolutions to exercise, eat better, or work toward personal or professional goals. At first, motivation is high. You feel excited and energized about the changes you want to make. But soon the enthusiasm fades. The gym feels like a chore, healthy eating becomes less of a priority, and the drive you had to improve starts to dwindle. This is where discipline steps in. It's what allows you to keep going when motivation has disappeared. It's what turns actions into habits and habits into lasting change. When motivation fades, discipline is what ensures that you stay on track and continue working toward your goals. One of the most important things to realize is that motivation is not something that can be forced. You can't summon it at will. It's a byproduct of your actions and mindset. Motivation often comes after you've already started moving. It's in the momentum of consistent effort that motivation resurfaces. However, if you rely solely on motivation, you'll find yourself waiting for that feeling to show up before you take action. This can lead to inaction, procrastination, and missed opportunities. Discipline, on the other hand, doesn't wait for motivation. It takes action regardless of how you feel. Discipline is what allows you to build momentum. It's easy to feel motivated at the start of something new, but without the discipline to follow through, your initial enthusiasm will fizzle out. By focusing on discipline over motivation, you create habits that serve you in the long term. When you show up every day, even when it feels difficult, you create a system that works for you, whether you're motivated or not. This is how long-term success is built, through the power of small, consistent actions repeated over time. Another aspect of discipline is its ability to create structure in your life. Motivation is erratic. It comes and goes, sometimes unpredictably. But discipline creates structure. It forces you to schedule your actions, prioritize your time, and be accountable to yourself regardless of how you feel. Discipline helps you develop the focus needed to achieve your goals because it doesn't allow distractions to take hold. It's the practice of committing to a course of action, even when it would be easier to quit or give in to distractions. When you embrace discipline over motivation, you stop making excuses. Instead of waiting for the perfect circumstances or the right mood, you focus on the process. You stop relying on inspiration to get things done and start relying on your ability to execute, regardless of the emotional state you're in. Discipline means showing up, even when it feels hard, uncomfortable, or tedious. It means doing the work without waiting for the motivation to strike. Over time, this creates a sense of progress, a sense of accomplishment, and a deeper commitment to your goals. Discipline is also what helps you push through obstacles. Motivation can make you feel unstoppable when things are going well, but when challenges arise, motivation often falters. It's easy to feel inspired when everything is going according to plan. But when things get difficult, when you face rejection, failure, or setbacks, motivation often slips away. This is when discipline becomes essential. Discipline is what allows you to keep going when the going gets tough. It's the determination to continue even when the path is unclear, the road is rocky, and the rewards are not immediately visible. Ultimately, discipline over motivation leads to greater self-control and self-mastery. It means you no longer have to rely on external factors or fleeting emotions to guide your action. You become the master of your habits, your decisions, and your outcomes. Discipline gives you the power to achieve your goals without waiting for inspiration to strike. It's the quiet force that propels you forward, even when motivation has taken a back seat. And the more you practice discipline, the easier it becomes to rely on it as the driving force behind your success. In life, it's inevitable that people will criticize you. There will always be those who question your decisions, belittle your ambitions, or tell you that you're not good enough. Whether it's from colleagues, friends, or even strangers, negativity has a way of finding its way into your life. But the truth is, you don't owe those people your attention. Their opinions should not dictate how you see yourself, nor should they have any bearing on your choices or your path. The key to achieving anything meaningful in life lies in focusing on yourself, not the people who criticize or doubt you. It's easy to get caught up in what others think. We live in a world where everyone has an opinion, and social media has only amplified this. The voices of negativity can be loud and constant, and they have a way of sneaking into your thoughts, making you second-guess yourself. It's tempting to spend time defending yourself, trying to convince others of your worth, or seeking validation from those who don't believe in you. But the more energy you put into those external voices, the less energy you have to put into your own growth and progress. The truth is, the opinions of others will never determine your future. You have the power to decide what matters to you and how you move forward. Focusing on yourself means prioritizing your own goals, dreams, and well-being over the distractions of judgment. When you're constantly looking outward, you lose sight of what's truly important: your own journey, your growth, your happiness, your success. These are the things that should occupy your thoughts, not the hurtful words or dismissive attitudes of others. It's easy to get discouraged when you face criticism, especially when it feels like it's coming from people who don't understand your vision or who don't have your best interests at heart. But the reality is, people who doubt you or talk down to you are often projecting their own insecurities. Their negativity says more about them than it does about you. When you focus on yourself, you can rise above the noise. You stop being tethered to the opinions of others, and instead you start building a life that aligns with your own values and aspirations. This doesn't mean ignoring constructive feedback or refusing to learn from others. It means not allowing criticism to derail you or make you question your worth. You become less concerned with fitting into other people's expectations and more concerned with creating the life you envision for yourself. Another important aspect of focusing on yourself is learning to trust your own instincts. When you're constantly seeking approval or validation from others, you lose confidence in your own decision-making abilities. You start looking outside yourself for answers instead of listening to your inner voice. This is where true personal growth happens, when you stop looking for permission and start trusting your own judgment. Everyone has a unique path in life, and the only person who truly knows what's best for you is you. The more you trust yourself and take ownership of your journey, the less impact the opinions of others will have on you. Haters, critics, and naysayers will always be there, and you can't control their thoughts or words, but you can control your response to them. When you focus on yourself, you stop letting external criticism dictate your emotional state. You stop allowing negativity to derail your momentum. Instead, you develop resilience, the ability to stay grounded and focused no matter what others say. Resilience is built through self-belief and the understanding that others' opinions are not your reality. Their doubts don't define you. Your actions, your perseverance, and your determination are what define you. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to win over their critics. They expend so much energy trying to change the minds of those who will never be on their side. But the truth is, You don't need the approval of everyone to succeed. Not everyone will understand your vision, and not everyone will believe in your potential. That's okay. You don't need to justify your goals or your journey to anyone. The more you try to please others or change their minds, the more you lose sight of what truly matters, your own path. Instead of wasting time trying to prove yourself to people who will never understand, focus that energy on improving yourself, advancing your goals, and achieving what you set out to do. Focusing on yourself also means being able to handle criticism gracefully. Not all feedback is negative or unwarranted. Constructive criticism can help you grow and improve, and the ability to separate that from mere judgment or hate is a powerful skill. When you're confident in your abilities and secure in your own journey, you can filter out the noise and take the lessons that matter without being weighed down by unnecessary negativity. The key is to differentiate between feedback that can help you and criticism that's simply designed to bring you down. When you focus on yourself, you become adept at distinguishing between the two. Let's be clear, focusing on yourself doesn't mean being selfish or ignoring the people around you. It means understanding that your energy is finite and that you should channel it toward what matters most to you. You take care of your mental, emotional, and physical well-being so that you can show up as the best version of yourself in all aspects of your life. It's about setting boundaries and not allowing negativity to drain you. It's about understanding that you cannot please everyone and that it's okay to prioritize your own needs and goals above the expectations of others. In a world where comparison is so easily accessible, focusing on yourself is a radical act of self-respect. The moment you stop comparing your journey to someone else's and start embracing your own path, you create the space for real growth. Your uniqueness is your strength, and when you focus on yourself, you allow that strength to shine through. You stop looking for external validation and start finding fulfillment within. You realize that your worth doesn't depend on the opinions of others, and that you are worthy simply because you are. The more you focus on yourself and your own progress, the less power the haters have over you. In the end, the truth is simple. Nobody owes you anything, and the world doesn't revolve around your needs and desires. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you can stop seeking validation and start focusing on what truly matters, your own growth. No one else is going to do the hard work for you, and no one else is going to care as much as you should about your dreams. So stop waiting for motivation to strike and rely on the discipline to stay committed to your path. Push through the doubts, the criticism, and the distractions. The journey is yours to own, and the only way to make it worthwhile is by focusing on your progress, not perfection, and taking full responsibility for your action. Your future depends on the choices you make today, and those choices are yours alone to make. Work hard, stay focused, and trust that everything you need to succeed is already inside you. The world might not be watching, but that doesn't matter, because when you focus on yourself, the progress will speak for itself.